Senator, nice to see you again, sir.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too. All right, I want to start first with President Biden and this whole issue of classified documents. Yesterday, we learned that there were some classified documents that were in his possession when he was no longer in office, when he was no longer vice president, in an office in downtown Washington, an office building locked in a closet. We learned about that, and now we're learning that there's another batch in another location. NBC News is reporting of classified documents that Biden has. So what should be done or not done about this?
Well, I think we need to appoint a special counsel. The Attorney General of the United States should do the same thing for President Biden he did for President Trump. Appoint a special counsel, someone outside of politics, outside the Department of Justice hierarchy, to look at whether or not there was any wrongdoing here. I have no idea if there was any wrongdoing, but I do know this. We can't live in a country where if you're a Republican president, they appoint a special counsel regarding how you handle classified documents. You're a Democratic vice president, now president, nothing happens to you is an unacceptable standard. So the easy answer to this problem is appoint a special counsel to look at what happened on Biden's watch.
Do you have any concern about when it was disclosed, at least about yesterday's batch? Because from my understanding, what's being reported is that the White House learned about it about a week before the election. We only learned about it in January. Yeah. I don't know if it would have affected any in midterm, but do you have any problem with that, the waiting essentially 2 months?
I've got problems with everything, okay? I've got a problem with the fact that the social media companies working with the FBI shut down a New York Post story about Hunter Biden before the last presidential election. I've got all kind of problems. Hillary Clinton basically had people take a hammer to the hard drive of her server that was set up illegally in her basement. 30,000 emails went missing, and now all of a sudden you're going to come down on President Trump. So here's the deal. If we can't live in a country this way, so what I want to have happen is somebody, a special counsel, look at what President Biden did or didn't do with classified documents, and also answer the question why this was not released before the election if it was known before the election.
Now, you know both gentlemen, former President Trump and Senator Biden. You've known Senator Biden for an awful long time, served in the Senate with him.
Yeah.
You know, as we have this, autopsy about these classified documents in possession of both of them, do you believe that either man was likely to harm our national security or took documents for that purpose?
No, I don't, to be honest with you. So, you know, you had General Petraeus, who I admire greatly, was prosecuted for handing classified information over to a journalist to write a book. You had Sandy Berger put stuff in his socks. The bottom line is we've got to have a better system when it. Yeah, it is. But I guess what I'm saying.
I think putting documents in your sock is a little different.
Yeah, no, my point is that people actually experience the raft of the criminal justice system when they abuse classified information. Your question was, do I think Trump and Biden are intentionally doing anything? No. But I do want to find out what happened in both cases, and I think a special counsel is warranted to look at what Biden did. And here's what really bothers me the most. If we knew that classified information was in Washington during Vice President's tenure in a closet before the election, why wasn't that revealed? Because I think it would have had a political impact.
Is the media fair on this? As you if you look at how the media's covered both men, I mean, I realize we're just starting on the whole Biden.
Yeah. No. Just look at it this way. I mean, you know, the left has gone crazy when it comes to Trump. But we have a situation where the Russian dossier, okay, that was a bunch of garbage, was pushed throughout Washington before the 2016 election by the intelligence community and others. There's a double standard when it comes to how to deal with conservatives and liberals under this administration. It needs to stop. The media is complicit. Social media companies need to be regulated. You know, they're an extension of the Democratic Party in many ways. So, no, America is not a very fair place now when it comes to administration of the law.
Can you disavow me of something? Since 2011 or 2012, something that's really bothered me is Dr. Afridi, who was the Pakistani doctor, is another topic, who was the Pakistani doctor who Secretary of Defense Panetta, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton both said was instrumental in us getting Osama bin Laden. He took a risk in his own life, and he was part of recovering the DNA, so we knew where Osama bin Laden was. He's been locked up in Pakistan for apparently some botched medical procedure 8 years earlier, but he's got like 33 years sitting in prison. Should the U.S. have done something, or should do something to bring Dr. Afridi out of Pakistan?
Well, number one, thank you for asking the question. We've shined a light on this to keep the guy alive, to make sure he's not abused in jail. But yes, I'm very concerned that the Pakistani government would put somebody in prison who helped us find out about bin Laden. So we'll stay on it. Thank you for bringing up the case.
Have we left him on the field, essentially? I mean, this guy, he risked his life to help us. Our number one enemy was Osama bin Laden, and he risked his life, and he's sitting in the slammer over there. And so we left him on the battlefield.
I think we should do more to try to get him out of jail, because I think he's in jail, not because of any botched procedure, but because he was embarrassing to the Pakistani government. How could they not know bin Laden was living out in the open right by a military training base? So, yeah, so there are a lot of politics involved in this case, and I think we should be pushing the Pakistani system to bring out a better result, because this is a politically driven exercise in Pakistan.
Senator, thank you very much for joining me, sir. Hope you'll come back again soon, sir.
Thank you. Thanks, Greta.